What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Ricky Hatton, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury, and the UK Hall of Fame. Now, get this. The UK Hall of Fame has bronzed Deontay Wilder on the ground with the American flag on. Well, that's made by Ricky. While Tyson Fury looking over him moments after he dropped Deontay Wilder, and that was the second knockdown. Now, you guys asked me what I think. I know Blue Blood has recently made a video of it, and people are like, what do you think about it? You got a lot of UK followers. What is this? What do you think? I think that this is advantage for the UK. Okay? Are they milking it? Hell yeah, they're milking it. You guys are milking it. The UK Hall of Fame, they're milking that idea. You know, the question I do have, though, you made a statue of Deontay Wilder on the ground and Tyson Fury over him, which was a great victory. I just wonder what took so long. Like, why now? Why is it a presented thing now? Like a month before, less than a month before the trilogy bout. That's what I wonder. That makes you go, why now? Further evidence, people, of milking it. And you know why now? Is because the future is not told yet. They don't know what's going to happen in the third fight. So, hey, if this is the time, let that time be now. You know, they should have done that before. But I think since a trilogy fight, like, hey, let's get this done. You know, I don't know how long they were working on the thing. I just wonder, why did they decide now instead of after the third fight or the decision, what happens after the third fight to present that particular thing? I think they done that specifically because they didn't know and they're not set in stone. And just for safe purposes, let's showcase this now. Okay. So we will, get the pride and the glory, and make sure that Tyson Fury gets his props. But the ironic thing about that is Tyson Fury said that he'll never fight in the UK. I'm like, that's kind of weird. He'll never fight in the UK, And then the UK, has a statue over him He's British or whatnot. And Tyson Fury has actually went on record and said that, he gets treated like shit in his own country. You know what I mean? And, and he's a gypsy traveler, so I can believe that because a lot of those guys get treated like we got treated back in the 60s, 50s, and on forth. You know what I mean? So, and this is like 2021, and they're still like, hey, no this or no pikas or no whatever. You know what I mean? They can be called. So, that I want to make that known, that they are showcasing that because he is British. Now Ricky Hatton, though. Another British guy, another former champion. He has the American flag over Deontay Wilder and the British flag over onto Tyson Fury. I think that was a bit much. I think that was excessive because it's like, okay, you're milking it, and I think to myself, what happened when you came over here against an American fighter and a Filipino fighter on American soil? You got destroyed. 10-2, baby, 10-2. Floyd Mayweather knocked him out with a left hook, beautiful, perfect knockout. He dropped him first time, and then he stopped it. They spared him because he could have just utterly continued destroying Ricky Hatton. And I know Ricky Hatton's good friends with Tyson Fury. He was in the corner of the first fight or whatnot. And he's been friends with him ever since, both when they were both fat, chubby men, him and Tyson Fury, right? So I get that, but like to put the flags on there, I think that was a bit excessive, right? And you can't forget about the second knockout. I mean, this was knocked out. Manny Pacquiao knocked Ricky Hatton out cold. So to say the least, I'm glad Ricky Hatton is loving this because this shit sure didn't happen over here when he did that, and if you really think about it, like that's boasting and roasting in your walloping in your own patriotism, right? It's one thing to be proud, but another thing to brag. Like, oh, he's British. Let me put that there. You could look at it as pride or whatever, shits and giggles. But then now, the way Ricky Hatton was beaten, if Floyd did that, Floyd would be hated. They would have hated Floyd for him doing that. Like, he's there, and you got a British flag over, and then he has an American flag over. That's really just showing division. That's why it's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, that was unnecessary. Like, why would you put that right there? Like, hey, because I'm British, I beat that guy. Or because if Floyd Mayweather was American, he beat that guy. You don't want to draw that division. You don't want to create that line in the sand. You don't want to do that shit. Okay? And that's what Ricky was doing. And it ain't cool. Because at the end of the day, that's no different from Wilder talking about, hey, bringing race into fighting. There's no difference. Because once you start doing that, once you start dividing division, that's when you have problems. Okay, that's when problems are created, and Ricky Hatton is attempting to create one. But let me say this about Ricky Hatton. Maybe Ricky Hatton needed that because he got knocked out. So that's something else to think about. So he couldn't do what Tyson Fury did over here. So he is probably the one that is mostly or more happy for Tyson Fury and for UK because he represented the UK. So maybe that was just that act. However he thought about it, though, it still comes off as division. You're drawing a line in the sand and you're making something that it doesn't supposed to be, But that's my counterpunch on that, I just wonder why that happens now. Why not now? Better now than later, because we don't know what later's going to be. You guys tell me what you think about Ricky Hatton putting the British flag on to Tyson Fury above the fallen Deontay Wilder with the American flag. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.